this time we are going to look at the volume for the frustum of the cone. We already looked at how to calculate the volume for the frustum of the pyramid, but this time we have the frustum of the cone. And so there's a question here, an example that we are going to use. So the example says, Mr. Mwene bought a flower pot with diameters 10 centimeters and 14 centimeters. So you can see in the diagram here that the diameter of the circle on top is 10 centimeters. And the diameter for the circle at the bottom here of this frustum or of this flower pot is 14 centimeters. So given that the height of the flower pot is 12 centimeters, so you can see the height here is 12 centimeters. Calculate its volume if it's shaped like the frustum of a cone. So the question is actually telling us here to say that we are dealing with the frustum of a cone. So what we are going to do now here is to apply the formula for calculating the volume for the frustum of the cone. So here the question stresses here to say use pi 3.142. So the formula is given by volume is equal to pi h over 3 r1 squared plus r2 squared plus r1 times r2. So this is the formula for the volume of a frustum of a cone. Now here we are given diameters, so we have to change these diameters now to the radius or radii. And so the way you do it is a radius is half of a diameter. So r1, for example, will be equal to 10 over 2. You just divide the diameter by 2 and then you get 5 centimeters. So you'll be lucky in questions, in different questions, if you meet a question like this, when you are given the radius on top there, then you will not need to divide. But in this case, you have a diameter, so you have to divide it by 2 to get the radius. So now, since in the formula we have r1 squared, we will see when the time comes how we are going to substitute in there. So let's go to r2. So r2 here, we have the diameter at the bottom is 14. So we are going to divide 14 over 2 here, and we'll get 7 centimeters. 2 into 14 is 7 centimeters. So at this point now that we have r1 and r2, we can now substitute in our formula. Remember, pi is a constant. It's always 3.142. Sometimes it's 22 over 7. Okay, we can even use 22 over 7. But in this question, they want us to use 3.142. So we'll say volume is equal to pi, which is 3.142 times the height is 12 all over 3, and in the brackets here we have r1 squared, which is 5 squared plus 7 squared plus 5 times 7. Okay, so this is what we have. Now we are going to use our calculator here to help us, but we can cancel here because 3 can go into 12. So we'll say 3 into 3 it's 1, 3 into 12 is 4. And so we can get our calculators to help us. So here, at this point here, we are going to multiply 3.142 times 4. So 3.142 times 4. Okay, this gives us 12.568. So here we are going to have 12.568. Okay, then we can put it in brackets, and then we can simplify what we have in the brackets here. So 5 squared is 5 times 5, which will give us 25, plus 7 squared is 49, which is 7 times 7, plus 5 times 7, which will give us 35. And then we can simplify what we have in these brackets here. So we are going to have 12.568, and then we can simplify. We'll add 25 plus 49 here. We are going to have 74, and then 74 plus 35 here. We are going to have 109. And then we can multiply these two to get our volume. So here is our calculator to help us. So we are going to have here 12.568 times, and then we multiply this by 109 or 109, and this gives us 1369.912 cubic centimeters, which we can round off to 4 significant figures, which will give us 1370 cubic centimeters. So at this point we have found our answer, but there's another alternative or another formula that you can use apart from this one. We used it when we were calculating the volume for the frustum of a pyramid. And the formula, I'll write it again here. The other formula that you can use is V, or volume, is equal to H over 3 area 1 plus area 2 plus the square root of area 1 area 2. Okay, so we used this formula when we are calculating the volume for the frustum of a pyramid, and you can also use it here. Now you have to keep in mind here that the two areas that we are talking about, area 1 and area 2, are the areas of circles. We have two circles here, the circle on top and the circle down. And so all you need here is now to understand how to find the area of a circle. So you can go back and revise on how to calculate the area of a circle, and then when you have found the area of this circle on top, you put here where there's A1. Find the area of the circle down here, put where there's area 2. And then here you can multiply the two areas and then you simplify. But make sure that when you're finding the area, you first find the radii, or the radius of the top circle and the radius of the bottom circle, just like we did when we started here. So we'll end here. Thank you very much for paying attention.